Okay, hello class. Today we're going to be talking about different perspectives from the civil rights movement in America. The civil rights movement accomplished a lot, but it wasn't a monolith. It wasn't just one thing that someone was the leader of, like Martin Luther King Jr. It was a variety of different perspectives coming together, and they often had different ideals about what the civil rights movement was for and how, to what end it should be carried out. So today we're going to be looking at two different primary source documents, and your job is to read one of the two documents and then partner up with someone who read the other one in order to compare and contrast the perspectives found in each, and also to practice getting key information out of primary source documents. Has anyone heard of annotating a document before? By show of hands? All right, great, so you both are familiar with it. When you annotate these documents, I want you to really mark them up. Take your time with them, underline, circle, highlight if you want to, and try to find some key pieces of evidence for the assessment once we get there. So, before we begin, a quick little background to the civil rights movement. I wanted to talk about one of the lesser known groups involved in the civil rights movement, the Black Panther Party. Have you guys heard of the Black Panthers by a show of hands? Both of you, awesome.
Would you be able to expand on that at all, or maybe some thoughts on Not yet? That's okay, because the second image should actually kind of help us understand this. Now, actually it'll be the third image. We'll do the same process again with this image. I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to work through this on your own. I'll pull this up a little bit closer, that way you guys can see it. And then we'll come together again.
So today we're going to start with a little video to get you guys more familiar with the Black Panther movement as it relates to other key leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. in the civil rights movement. So we'll start with this video before we get into the documents.
Alright, seems like everyone's finished up with their notes. So again, we're just going to kind of talk about what we noticed about the image and then work together to figure it out. Sophia, do you mind starting first this time?
So, you see Uncle Sam in the middle, so again, kind of that same picture with the striped pants, with the beard, and it seems like kind of like the clouds are like parting around and like he's the center of attention.
Okay, so what can you guys tell me about what that video said about the perspective of Martin Luther King Jr.? Did you guys catch that kind of in the beginning? What his ideals were?
And then on the other side, you see the chasm again.
Peaceful
so
protest.
Africa,
Peaceful
Europe,
protests? Great. What makes you say that, Dan?
He didn't believe in taking to the streets and fighting like the Black Panthers did.
Yep, he definitely has a reputation for nonviolence. It showed some pictures from the sit-ins. That's like a really well-known nonviolent form of protest. Did either of you catch what he thought the African American community where it should go? What the long-term goals of it were? It was kind of in the beginning, but it did mention that Martin Luther King Jr. wanted integration and equality of African Americans with the rest of white America. And that is a pretty important point of contrast that we'll see with the Black Panther movement. But to support that, we're going to go now to the documents. I do actually, sorry. I did want to actually ask you guys one more question before we jump into the documents. What similarities did you see for the Black Panther movement and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? What in the video showed them kind of in common?
For you is two maps. One was taken in
What ideals might they have shared, or objectives, or the means to achieving their ends?
They're both fighting for civil rights.
Fighting for civil rights? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both groups, the Black Panthers and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., they both wanted civil rights for African Americans. They were both huge in the civil rights movement.
it's a little bit hard to decode.
But can you guys get any more specific? What ideals did they share?
An interpretation of the primary sources.
Equality?
that we work through.
Absolutely. And the big difference there is integration versus separatism. And so now we'll get into sort of the differences between their ideals when we get into the documents here.
Come back in 2 minutes.
So here's a letter from Birmingham City Jail for you. You drew the harder of the two, and then we have the program of the Black Panther Party there. Here is some additional vocabulary terms defined. If you, just in case you needed an extra support, those are some of the key terms that you'll find in the document there. So why don't you guys take your time, and I really want you to take your time annotating these documents and trying to find key pieces of information that represent that group or individual's viewpoint as it relates to the civil rights movement as a whole.